Hey, and welcome to video number 2. In this specific video, we're going to be talking about how to find out your personality and who you are. This is the fun part because you get to learn more about yourself and the way you tick, your strengths, your weaknesses, and it also will help you figure out which direction you should head, which career, business, and more direction. 3 steps to your personality. Step number 1, we're going to take the test to find out your personality type. Now, there are many different types of tests out there. Over the years, I have actually studied many of these tests and figured out which one are more reliable. And I'm going to show you which ones that I would recommend that you take. Step number 2, after you take the test, you're going to be given 4 letters. And then what we're going to do is we're going to research these 4 letters. So I can pinpoint these 4 letters. We're going to figure out where you can find more information about them, more accurate information, and we're going to go from there. So let me show you how to do this in more detail. So the first thing I would recommend that you do is to go on to google.com and type in to the search box Socionics. That's Socionics space test, Socionics test. I've used several different tests and I found that these tests tend to be the best. If you click on this link at the very top, you'll see 2 different tests, the Socionics Type Assistant Turbo and the Socionics Type Assistant Turbo XL. Now I'm going to open up these 2, and for the sake of time we're going to be taking this test here, the Socionics Turbo. The Socionics Turbo XL is actually what I recommend that you take. It's a 54 question test. It's not too long, but it'll give you a more accurate result. Now you have to be honest here. If you're weak in some area, then make sure that you put that you're weak in that area. Otherwise, you're going to hurt yourself if you're not honest, because it's easy to think, oh, okay, I'm really good at this when we're really not good at a certain thing. So make sure that you fill in that details so that you can pinpoint and get an accurate 4-letter personality profile. So I'm going to take the Turbo test, and what you need to do is simply read the question. It says, which population can you relate to the most? Now, keep in mind that most of you will feel like, oh, okay, I feel like I'm in both situations. But you're really not in both situations. Think about how you deal with things when you're alone. And think about how you deal with things in social settings, in relationships, and so forth. Which of these does it sound more like you? On the left-hand side, it says, are you involved in what is happening on the outside and around them? So are you thinking about what happens around you? Are you talkative? Are you a type of person that likes to be the center of attention? Do you gain your energy by being around people? Do you solve problems and create solutions by being around people? If that sounds like you, then you'll want to click this one. Now, I'm not going to read everything because it's a lot, but I'm just going to give you an overview of what to look for. So go ahead, pause this video and read this and figure out which one you are mostly like. And the people on the right they tend to have like solutions, develop solutions, and ideas are created by being alone. If that sounds like you like to be alone, you like your privacy, you don't really like people as much, people bug you, they drain you kind of thing. And of course, keep in mind that certain people are going to bug you just because they think differently and so forth. So that's not the point, it's the point of overall. Are you being bugged by people overall? Do people drain you overall? Do you have fewer friends, less friends, but very deep friends? Then you're on this side. So this is extroversion and this is introversion. There's nothing wrong with being an extrovert or introvert, whatever. It's just we're all different. And the beauty of that is that that's great. If we're all the same, it would be terrible. So pick one. I'm going to pick this one. This section here are people that tend to sense. And what I mean by that is when you process data, you use your senses. You use your sight, you use your smell, you use your, all your senses. So these types of people tend to be concrete, practical, hands-on, quickly get familiar with new places, very detail-oriented. They like to gather a lot of facts, a lot of data about certain, people, subject matters before they make a decision. So they tend to make a very calculated risk in terms of decisions that they make. Now, the people on the right are more intuitive. They tend to be more gut feeling. They do not like routine. They are more imaginative, idealistic, speculative. They love theories. They love abstract ideas. So in other words, if you think about it, the people on the left are more practical, hands-on. They like to do stuff. The people on the right hand side are abstract, develop ideas. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's what we need. So if you're an intuitive person on the right, a sensing person on the left, I'm going to choose this one. And here we have feelers and thinkers. Are you more of a person who is interested in other people's feelings? And this has nothing to do with if you're male or female. I mean, men have this too, depending on your personality type. So some men are very feely, or women are feeling, they're concerned about other people's feelings, their thoughts. They make their decisions by looking at different perspectives. And on the right-hand side, these people tend to be interested in systems, structures, logical analysis, are not really in tune to feeling and can't really express their feeling as much. They do not like arguments and quarrels and clearing up those situations and so forth. So there's nothing wrong with either or. There's always good sides and downsides to both. But the point is, which one are you? I'm more of a feeler, but I can say that in many situations that I'm very structured, systematic analysis, structure type person. In fact, the way I create these video series is that I'm very systematic. But how do I make my decisions? Like, how do you make your decisions? I'm more of a feeler. So the last question is, do you plan ahead but act impulsively, spontaneously? You have difficult commitments, and so forth and so forth. Or do you plan ahead? You like rules and regulations. You like to stick to appointments, guidelines, and so forth. So now keep in mind that some of us can be this area, and then we'll feel like sometimes we just want to do stuff spontaneous. But the question is not when do you do it in certain times, but when do you do it all the time? I'm more of a planner type person that likes rules and regulations and routines, but I do like to act impulsively in certain situations. But if you like to, when you run your business, do your career, or anything like that, do you like to plan ahead but act impulsively? Like, are your decisions made, okay, this is our idea, let's go ahead and do it, and so forth. So I am more of this person. So at this point, we have a 4-letter personality word. And this is what we need. Now you can hop on over to google.com and type in these 4 letters. And as you can see, the very most top link, personalitypage.com, is one of the sites that I use all the time, and I forward people to these sites. So if you click on this, it'll be customized to your personality profile, and it'll give you an overview of a little more detail about you. And if you go down here and click these two links, you will see careers for your personality types. What best suits you, makes you want to, which careers and career paths and so forth. If you run a business, it'll give you a better idea of a type of direction, how you deal with people in a team effort, cooperative, and how you get things done. And ESFJ, relationships, strengths, weaknesses, how you deal with your relationships, and as parents, friends, and so forth. Now in the next video, I'm going to dig deeper and show you a little more detail what each letter means, so you can get a more accurate, because at this point, you might have 4 letters, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are these 4 letters. So we want to make sure that you are these 4 letters before you actually get into breaking your habits and getting your focus and setting those realistic goals.